Alright, in this tutorial we're going to be concentrating on color correction and color grading. If you've been watching our tutorial so far, in our last tutorial we added in some audio and some background music. If you just watched that, our video is almost coming towards an end now. So in this one we're going to be concentrating on the color and the look of our footage. So right now we are in our editing phase. We've been in our assembly. This is where we imported our footage and we brought them into the timeline to start off our video, and then we headed into editing where we added in some transitions, we added in the audio and the background music, and now we're going to head over into color. Now this is where we're going to concentrate for now. Oh, that's glitched out. There we go. Now don't be scared as soon as you open it up. We're not going to concentrate on this thing over here, okay? This is our Lumetri scopes. That's for a more advanced tutorial, I think. For now, we're going to be heading into the right panel over here. This is all our color settings, and this is where we're going to be concentrating for today. Now, color grading and color correction are two completely different things, and for me to explain it very basically, color correction is when you're going into each individual shot, just like this, and we're actually correcting the color. Now, if the footage was overexposed, we'd bring down the exposure. If the white balance was off, we'd adjust the white balance to get the white's perfect white. Now, with color grading, what we're doing, we're actually going to grade the entire video. So you'd make sure each shot actually matches up to another, and it looks like it's all one video, and it just sits together very nicely. Now, to do that, we're going to add in an adjustment layer. Now, to get one of these, you're going to go down to the bottom left here. We're going to click on New Item, and now it'll give us some options here. So we're going to click on Adjustment Layer. Now, what that's going to do, we're going to click OK. In our footage bin here, at the top, it's going to give us an adjustment layer. What we're going to do, we're going to drag it over, and we're going to put it into our Video 3 layer. We're going to drag this across to make sure it's covering the entire video. You could end it there. I'm actually going to bring that back to make the video a little shorter. There we go. Now, what I've done, I've added an adjustment layer that covers every shot underneath, including the logo. We actually don't need to color grade the logo, so we're going to end it there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to add an effect or a filter to do with color into the adjustment layer, which will then affect everything underneath it, so including all the footage. Now, to do this, I'm going to click on the adjustment layer. Now we're going to head over to the right panel over here. Okay, just to go through these very briefly, we got basic correction here. Now, like I said earlier, with the color correction, if the temperature wasn't right or the white balance was off, you'd adjust it here. You can make it warmer, make it darker. Again, don't worry about the lumimetry scopes. That's going to scare you for a bit. We're not going to concentrate on that for now. So we could adjust the temperature, and also we got the tint underneath to change the color of it. Just going to put that back to normal, 0. Okay. Again, we got the exposure underneath. We got the contrast to add a film look, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. We're not going to go through all of them. Right now, we're going to stay on creative. So this is the easiest way to correct and to grade some of your footage in your video. Now, we got a few options here, and we got a few sliders. Don't forget, now we're on this adjustment layer, which is going to correct everything underneath. So once we add something, it's only going to go to the adjustment layer. If we mess up, we can easily delete it and replace it. We don't have to go through each of the footage. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate on this faded film look here. Now, faded film at the moment is very popular in all videos. They're on all advertisements. They're in films, short films. I've seen them everywhere. So what this is going to do, we're just going to add this, and what you're going to see is that the color in the video is actually going to start fading away. Now, I personally don't really use this much. I know people that would, and some colorists will always use it. Right now, we're going to leave that off. We could sharpen our image. Let's just show you what this does here. If you can see that, it's very subtle. What it's doing is adding those sharpness to the straight lines and to the edges of some of the objects. But again, we're not going to use that for now. Put that back to 0. Vibrance is going to change the color, which means if you can see there, it's adding way too much color into this shot, just press play, and we've actually got some grain and it really doesn't work well. Obviously you wouldn't use 100% of it. So bring that back to 0. Okay, and saturation, just to saturate the shot, add in some color from what's already in there, or we can desaturate it and make it black and white. I quite like the black and white effect into this actually. It works quite well, especially on the logo shot. Okay, for now we're just going to remove that. Oh, just press Command Z until it goes back to normal. Oh, there we go. What we're going to look at is the looks. Now these, I find, is the easiest way for you to start grading your footage. Now, what a look is just, it's like an Instagram filter. You can go through them. There's loads here. Now they'd all do completely different things. So let's just find a shot where we can, right, we can pick this one here. So we can see the difference. Now, start on the top. Right, okay, so that's a city space. We shouldn't really be using that. I don't like the look of that. What I do like the look of are these 3 Kodak filters here. Now these are made by Adobe. When you add them, just to show you the difference, turn that back off. It is adding quite a nice warmer look to it. Oh, yeah, so it's definitely warming up the shot and warming up the colors, which I quite like the look of. Let's try the second one. Again, it's added a lot more contrast into this one, which looks good. Just gonna press play. And because we've added this in just to the adjustment layer, it's added it to every shot underneath it. And I think it does look good. I'm quite happy with that one. Just to show you, we're going to put in the third one. See what this one looks like. Can't really see it on that shot. There we go. Just going to show that on and off again. That's it without. The third Kodak. That's with it on. I think the second one, the middle one here, is my favorite. Yeah, I quite like the look of that. Now, there are quite a lot more. You can go through them if you really wanted to, and not much difference between that one. Bleach HDR. That's quite nice. It's actually taking out some of the color, but adding more contrast. But I think for now, we're going to stick to the second Kodak here. So it's 2383 by Adobe. I do like the look of that. I think that one looks really well for the video. Because we've added it to the adjustment layer, and the adjustment layer ends on the last shot, it's not going to affect our logo at the end either. So I'm going to end the tutorial there. So now you know a little bit more about the color and some color correction and some color grading, and especially in the creative section here, where you can look at some of the looks and also some of the basic correction on these sliders up here. Now you could go down and go into curves, but I think we're going to leave that for another tutorial on color, and there's quite a few more, so you can have a play around and have a look around. Okay, in our next tutorial we're going to be looking at adding a film look to our video, and then we'll be ready to export it, I think. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.